Get a load of this.
Just want your step with me, dance with me, giving me feel alright.
I understood what was going on. At least I feel like a lot of the times in Dark Souls, it's just like, I don't know, shit, I'm just gonna walk forward or walk in this direction and then hope that I find a door I can open or a boss that'll drop down. I'm hoping this is like an 8 or a 9. I don't think it'll be a 9 or anything. Maybe an 8.
Souls-like inspiration.
Well, shit, boys. It looks like I have another IGN review to do today because I'm super excited for Lies of P. If you haven't, there's a free demo right now. I have the Xbox app on PC. I played the whole demo. It was amazing. I'm really excited for this game, and I believe the early release has been given out. These are the official early release reviews. My boys at Game Ranks did one earlier also. Kind of quiet, Travis. Let's turn you up a little bit, buddy.
Like Arms Race, when we're now turning classic children's stories into dark, twisted, Bloodborne pseudo-sequels. But hey,
I think it looks amazing. I thought it played for...
Yes, Lies of P
it
is
played
yet
very,
another
very
game
well.
inspired by the unforgiving From Software masterpieces that have captured the hearts of so many, myself included.
It's its own take on it, though.
But it's also an undeniably impressive standout amid a sea of games chasing the Souls-like
there's a ton
trend.
of different Souls-likes.
It does suffer from some uneven difficulty and overly linear level design.
It does. I do agree with this.
story
Through the demo, it was pretty linear, but a lot of the times things are linear because it makes it more scripted. It makes it a more fluid. I think there's good games that are linear, right? Everybody wants to be the next GTA or the next, open world big Ubisoft style game. Like, there's something to be said with good, well-crafted events and linear gameplay that pushes you from one sequence to the next. I mean, that's fine if it's good. If it's good.
Means that this isn't one you should miss out on if there's a
no, this fucking dude
beat
beat my ass a million
it's fair to
times.
say that sometimes Lies
Dude
of P
fucked me.
emulates its inspiration so closely it feels like someone else is pulling it.
If y'all don't watch me on Twitch, dude, you gotta go check it out because holy shit, I killed this guy, or tried to kill this guy for hours. 2, 3, maybe even 4 hours. I didn't end up making a video out of it, but
fun to join in.
Worth noting, it is free on Game Pass on the 18th. So
it's both praise and criticism.
if you got Game Pass, go play it for sure.
Blueprint pioneered by From Software down to the finest detail.
It is definitely a Souls-like.
Deviations. Just look at the UI and menus.
Yeah, they're very similar. You heal the same way. You gotta go to a bonfire area.
Like Bloodborne?
Right, you can still get nuked by anything in the game. Even these basic people can kill you.
Dance of attacks and parries designed with difficulty in mind.
Actually, so in the demo, you don't really get to use. You see the blue bars in the corner. You don't use many of your abilities like that, or I didn't.
Script that it got to the point where I'd meet a seemingly friendly character and think, this is the one who's going to betray me later, with full confidence that I was spot on in that assessment.
Boss.
There's even a major boss
that's just the best part.
Same name and rough appearance as a Dark Souls boss, which is honestly just kind of hilarious.
That's kind of lame, but
one of the ways it does set itself apart, though, is with its story, which is a dark reimagining of Carlo Collodi's Pinocchio.
Yeah.
You know, the story about a mischievous puppet known for telling falsehoods and longing to become a real boy.
A real boy!
It's actually a pretty interesting story.
It takes a lot of gory and depressing liberty in its version of the classic
Oh my god, killing the donkey?
It's got some nice nods to its inspiration. There are these untrustworthy mammals, plus a neat mechanic where you have to choose to tell lies or the truth. That'll have an impact on the outcome of your story.
I didn't know that. I did know there were choices in the game, but I didn't know how much they affected it.
Get a load of this.
Just want your step with me, dance with me, giving me feel alright.
That said, this style of game isn't known for having the most comprehensible stories.
No, oftentimes they're very convoluted and tricky to understand.
That rule, but it does try harder than most.
But like when I was playing the demo, I understood what was going on. At least I feel like a lot of the times in Dark Souls, it's just like, I don't know, shit, I'm just gonna walk forward or walk in this direction and then hope that I find a door I can open or a boss that'll drop down. And it's similar in this, but at least there's something going on. Like Elden Ring, dude. How many of you guys really knew what you were doing when you played Elden Ring?
I've seen in this genre, this is definitely among my favorites. It's got some interesting twists and turns, and a few memorable characters too.
Genius never rests.
That's another thing that not all places do very well. Not every game is very good at making good characters. You can have a good story, but have a lackluster character cast, and it's not very good. So I don't know. I didn't play very much, obviously.
Hacking your way through levels where practically everything in sight wants to kill you,
yeah,
and taking on much more formidable bosses. And Lies of P largely nails both of those.
I don't remember. Did I beat this dude? I don't think I did.
The city of
Maybe
Prague
it did.
is memorable and dystopian, while also continuously reminding you that you're playing out an iconic fairy tale about puppets. It comes complete with your cricket sidekick Gemini and your puppet-making father Geppetto, who always reminds you to be a good boy right before he sends you on missions to butcher everyone in your path.
I didn't like this guy. I'm gonna be honest. I liked killing the Donkey Man more.
Swamp level that every Souls-like is legally required to
include.
Another
it is very fun to play.
Some memorable and usually disgusting boss fights. And Lies of P
obviously the best part of any Souls-like game is the bosses.
I promise, but they're always enjoyable, even though they're all pretty straightforward encounters where you whittle down a health bar. It would have been nice. I
like some niche ones
where they mix things up with a puzzle or trick you've got to figure out to best your opponent.
I agree.
Those are always my favorite.
I don't know. They can be annoying if you overdo it or they're too complicated to figure out, but a good niche thing, you know, a specific critical spot or something in the arena you need to do, it doesn't hurt anything. It's good for variation, you know, once or twice in a playthrough.
With a couple minor tweaks. You can't restore health lost from direct attacks by striking back at your enemies like in Bloodborne, but you are given the ability to partially block some of that incoming damage, then counter to restore the chip damage you absorbed.
Yeah, you do that. It's actually a decent system.
Where aggressive gameplay is encouraged.
Yeah.
That keeps fights moving along at a quick pace, but it also discourages more defensive playstyles, which
I had to learn this the hard way.
Even so, this feisty combat is extremely fun, balanced, and well-tuned. But
it is very fun to play.
Into playing in a specific way.
He hasn't even talked about it yet. The weapon making system and abilities and like your gauntlet, your arm pieces or whatever. They're all very fun.
Borrowed from Bloodborne is that your melee weapon is assigned to your right hand, while your left is
there you
reserved
go.
for a
Here we
utility
are.
Weapon. This one turns your robotic left arm into a Winter Soldier-esque tool of destruction.
Yeah, see, I didn't even get to play with half of these, but they're all customizable. They all have, I mean, you have to get the part for them or something, like you find it in the world, and then you just attach it to your arm, and it's a new ability that you can upgrade and you can change back, and they're all different. I think it's a really good system, actually.
A pretty darn clever take on that.
And you like recharge them throughout playing. Yeah, this is the one I use mostly.
Or blow up deranged puppets from afar like this.
Didn't have that in mind
or my personal
in the
favorite,
demo.
Block incoming attacks and dish out damage in kind with a fiery explosion that triggers when they hit your shield. It's especially cool that each of these tools can be upgraded with additional effects. Check
I
this
didn't
out.
get to upgrade anything either. See, this is, look at that, dude. It's like your weapon arts from Dark Souls and Elden Ring and stuff like. But it's so cool. It's fun to do.
That really lets Lies of P distinguish itself within a very crowded genre.
Yes, I agree. Look at this. You get your blade and then the handle, and you can just pick. Look at all the different options, and then you mix and match them. You get a different Fable art, like your weapon art. You'll get a different attack number with it. All of these stats change when you change when you mix and match, which is, in my opinion, one of the coolest things they've done.
Within a very crowded genre.
Yeah.
Have you ever wanted to attach a giant saw blade to a rapier's handle so you could jab with it like you're fencing?
Yeah,
well,
it doesn't make a whole lot of
advisable
sense,
at all,
honestly, but
knock yourself out and you do you.
Look, I mean, you can make all of them work. you know, and it'll be so cool to see what people do, what's the meta, what it is, like a challenge run, right? I mean, it'll be fun to see all of this.
You're given quite a bit of freedom to make some silly or surprisingly effective stuff, as certain stats and abilities from your chosen hilt and blade combine for a unique combat experience. It's a bit of a shame, though, that the best weapons available are legendary tools that can't be disassembled and forged into new weapons.
I could see that.
These are so much more powerful than anything you could build.
I didn't know about these, actually.
From actually engaging with the crafting system the longer you play.
I mean, it depends how cool they are, I guess. You know, if they're, I'm sure there's a reason you can't disassemble them. It would just be overpowered, probably. But I see that could be kind of lame if there's a super meta for legendaries.
Any good Souls-like is how soul-crushingly difficult it is, and Lies of P has mixed success in this regard.
Okay.
On one hand, nearly all of the world exploration where I was fighting your run-of-the-mill evil puppets and gross
It was pretty lame, actually.
disappointingly easy, to the point where death was a rare occurrence throughout my playthrough.
You don't die a whole lot to the normies, but the bosses and like the mini bosses,
most boss fights, which
really,
Souls veterans can expect to beat without breaking too much of a sweat.
really.
They're usually big, slow, and stupid creatures who are
I might have just been dog shit.
Behind or underneath them, and they telegraph all their attacks like they're in the WWE.
Yeah, they do that.
Then I'd encounter the occasional showdown where the difficulty spiked up dramatically without warning, and I'd die 20 or 30 agonizing deaths on a single boss, leaving me to wonder if I just wasn't properly leveled or something. Those specific bosses stand in such stark contrast to the much milder exploration sections that it can be quite jarring. And I often felt like the levels preceding a tough boss didn't properly prepare me.
I kind of agree with this.
Most likely, my skills probably atrophied during the stretch of mostly undemanding skirmishes in between the dramatically.
I kind of agree. You kind of like let your guard down. You're just chilling. You're like, oh shit, just some more randoms, just nuke them. And then you get to a boss and you're not really that prepared for it. I kind of agree. It's just like a flow of the game.
The clunky roots of the genre along with its strengths. Among other things, there were a few times where I phased through the environment in a weird way, and enemies had a weird habit of
these always happen.
Right in front of me,
like
they were fading away during the season finale.
I never had that happen in the demo. I had a dog that spawned right in front of me, so it does seem like there could be some glitches.
Widespread, so they're unlikely to drag down an otherwise perfectly enjoyable adventure.
And as long as it's not like the boss fights and stuff, it's not that bad.
Rock solid. I maintained a perfectly stable frame rate at every point.
I did too.
Which definitely
never had any problems with my frame rate. I'm hoping this is like an 8 or a 9. I don't think it'll be a 9 or anything. Maybe an 8.
Souls-like inspiration, but like a marionette controlled by a skilled,
I really want to play this. I'm really excited.
Well, in a wonderfully dark fantasy world. It must be said that its uneven difficulty didn't always make me feel like an underdog, especially when playing as a brawny, overpowered version of Pinocchio with a massive weapon.
The overpowered Pinocchio gameplay.
Me into a specific playstyle, while the levels are less open and twisting than most. But with an awesome weapon crafting system, some really memorable boss fights, and one of the better
there's some unique stuff going on here.
I can enthusiastically recommend you spend your time hanging out with
8.
and friends.
Let's go, baby. Another great review, actually. IGN's been impressing me recently. I feel like they're actually doing pretty decent. I'm gonna like this video too, and you know, go check it. Like my video. Hit me with a comment down below. Are you gonna play Lies of P? Like I said, if you have Game Pass, you gotta try it out. At least the demo. I mean, I had a blast playing the demo and getting my ass whooped. So, I mean, I'm excited. It comes out on the 18th in 5 days. Leave a like, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you guys are doing with Lies of P, and hopefully I'm done with these IGN reviews for a little bit, dude. Jesus.